Thank you very much for having us. Yeah, I'm Ross. This is Akram. And we made this product called Smartibot. And we ran a Kickstarter for it over the summer, and we sold 1,500 of them. And we're in the final stages of manufacturing at the moment. Before I tell you about Smartibot, I guess I wanted to tell you about why we made it. And I guess the sort of the design approach that we took and why I think that's important. Basically, I think we're at a point where we've got quite an unhealthy relationship with AI. And I think that kind of came across actually in a lot of the conversations yesterday about kind of regulation and ethics and stuff around AI. And a thing that kept coming back yesterday was basically people saying that the public just don't have a sensible understanding of AI technology, and so we're not having sensible conversations about it. Everyone's kind of goes straight from the Alexa to like the Terminator, and there's kind of there's no nuance, and actually the perceptions are so far from the reality of the technology. So this seems like a really stupid thing to ask, right? Is this kind of very, very simple rudimentary toy robot smarter than Akram? Obviously, it's not. But there's this research that researchers at MIT have been doing where they've been getting children to interact with AI-enabled products like smart assistants and robots. And it was quite shocking, actually. The researchers said both of us were surprised to see that most of the older children, 6 to 10 years old, thought that the agents were more intelligent than they were, even if the device's current capabilities were still fairly limited. So, I was really shocked by this, because the devices are so much less intelligent than these children, I guess. And the fact that they're giving the impression to the children that they are more intelligent than them means that something's going wrong with the way that these devices are being designed, the user experience, and the way that they're being marketed. And it kind of made me think of this. There's this famous quote from Arthur C. Clarke that says, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And that's the thing about this statement is it's not necessarily clear whether Arthur C. Clarke views this as a good or a bad thing. And I actually prefer an earlier kind of statement to the same effect by another sci-fi writer called Lee Brackett, and she said, "Witchcraft to the ignorant, simple science to the learned." And to me, that's more useful because it implies a value that basically being ignorant and viewing something as magical or witchcraft is not good. It shows that you really don't understand it. And we're at a point where we really need to be understanding the technology, the public need to be, because we're having to make all of these decisions about how it's going to be regulated, where it's going to be used. And we can't have those conversations, and we can't make those decisions if people aren't informed about how it actually works and what it does. And in a way, you can see where this sense comes from, this sense of magic. It's actually created by the marketing of these products. So this is the kind of original advert for the Alexa when it was, for the Echo when it was launched. And it's kind of, these people are just astonished at the magic and the kind of unfathomable wonder of this device. And then at the moment, Google are running this campaign in the UK where it's basically these kind of hapless humans are basically like bailed out of really stupid situations that they've got themselves into by the vastly more intelligent Google Home Assistant. But actually, these devices have like beetle level of intelligence. It's, they're far less intelligent than your dog. And so it's so disingenuous, I guess, to be marketing them in this way. And then it's also kind of reinforced by the actual industrial design of the products. These kind of dark, shiny kind of visual language of this stuff. It's all-knowing yet unknowable, and you can probably see that most of this is AI-enabled products you can buy, but two of them are the things from 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is really weird. It's like, why why are they deliberately making the things look like the evil AI robot that killed the humans? But maybe it's just a joke at everyone else's expense, but it is pretty remarkable. So I was kind of trying to think about what a paradigm for technology that actually is healthy, that isn't witchcraft, I guess. And I think that the relationship that we used to have with motor vehicles, I think, is probably, you can say that motor vehicles were not a very healthy thing for us to have got into, but fundamentally, I think we did have quite a healthy relationship with them. Like, people understood how they worked, and people were able to maintain them and also to modify them, and they became a major source of kind of cultural expression, which I think was quite a good thing. And I think, in a way, that's where we want to get to with this AI technology. And ultimately, that's what we were trying to do with the Smarty Bot. So Smarty Bot is a very cheap cardboard robot that you put together yourself. It's made, comes flat, and it comes with cardboard parts to make 3 different variants of the robot. So basically, you build it, take it apart, and rebuild it 3 times. And we hope that once you've done that, you've kind of got the sense that you can keep doing that, and you can rebuild it with other things that you've got around you. And then once you've built it, you can attach your phone to it, and the phone runs a powerful image recognition AI, and the robot's able to recognize objects and respond to them. Some of the other robots that come in the kit, some of them are useful, but most of them are just fun. And then, as I said, what we're hoping is that when people get their robots, they're just going to keep going, keep rebuilding, keep creating whatever they want. And so we did this Lego one. We worked with some amazing ceramicists to make these ceramic robots, and we worked with knitters to knit robots. And then we've also designed it so that, because it runs on 6 volts, you can basically hack it into existing toys. So you can bring the intelligence and the programmability to whatever you've got kind of in your toy box, I guess. And we did this. It's also compatible with like standard radio control systems. So we made a radio control car into an autonomous car, which was quite fun. So now I'm going to hand over to Akram, and he's going to talk about the kind of engineering approach we took with the AI.
Cool, thank you. Cool. So yeah, we approach this a little bit differently to build like a home assistant product. We have these smartphones in our pocket, which are pretty impressive. And when I was at Dyson building a robot vacuum cleaner, we had like the power of a Samsung S3 inside the robot, and we could barely do anything with it. And we're like, well, these phones are constantly evolving, so why don't we leverage that? And whenever there's new machine learning models or new applications, we can just put them in an app, you can download it. And so most of the power is actually in the smartphone that you have, and it works on iPhone and Android. And so you can see that like websites like AI.js Rocks are amazing, how you can just go into a web browser, use your camera, and start doing all these latest machine learning algorithms and building different products with them and experiences. And so we had this kind of inspiration to take something that we'd used before called YOLO, which is this real-time object detection algorithm which can identify 20 different objects in one snapshot. And we baked this into the phone, and we just connect it straight to the robot through Bluetooth, and you can pretty much build any kind of autonomous project you want to. So as Ross alluded to, we built this autonomous RC car. But behind the design of the whole product was these 3 principles. The first one was about visibility. We want the user to experience and understand how the robot is thinking. So again, when I was at Dyson, it was just this black box that would navigate, and when you talk to customers, they were constantly saying things like, oh, I think it does this, and I think it does this, and it's actually a lot dumber than that. So we wanted to show people how that feedback loop works. So that's, you can see here with this example where it's told to follow a dog. Second to that, we wanted adjustability. So machine learning models are probabilistic. They're tunable. Usually it's some developer in Seattle or California tweaking these models and then hoping it works and then getting feedback. We didn't think we needed that, so we put most of the values in the settings, and you can play around and learn, and you can start to see, oh, maybe in dark light I need to lower the confidence and so forth. And we're hoping that will help people understand that this isn't a dark art. And finally, it was an approach to, say, building a tool rather than a product. Often, again, these black boxes, like the Alexa, like the Google Home, are telling you, here's how it works, and that's it. And we wanted to give you something that you could start with, have a lot of fun, but you can build almost anything you want. And the autonomous car is a fantastic example of this, where it really doesn't, I mean, it takes like 2 clicks, and you can just attach it to an RC car. So yeah, that's our engineering approach. Tons of stuff you can build with it.
If you want to get robots, this is the website. There's the Smarty Bot and also a really simple USB charged kind of vibrating paper robot thing. That's why we started basically. Before we got into building intelligent robots, we were building really dumb robots. And then what you should really do though is come to our workshop, which is happening at 10 to 2. It's a bit hard to find, but you basically go all the way to that corner and then up some stairs, and that's where the workshop venue is. And we're going to build robots out of potatoes, and we're going to battle for glory and prizes. So definitely come to that if you can. And thank you so much. Actually, we've got some time left over, so we could take questions, or we could just go.
Any questions from the audience? Cool. All right, looking out there. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks, guys.
Come to the workshop.